Starting five for Singleton SuperValu Brunell.
Good evening and welcome to the Neptune Stadium here in Cork. We're about to get underway in the first of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-finals. This year's semi-finals take place between Ambassador, UCC Glanmire and Singleton SuperValu Brunell. So a big local clash here, and Glanmire of course going for their fourth cup in a row, and I'm joined tonight by former Glanmire stalwart Niamh Dwyer. Niamh, good evening.
Good evening, Matt. Thanks for having me.
So we're about to get underway. Big crowd here at Neptune Stadium. Delighted to see the festival of basketball about to take off. Of course, Hula Hoops Cup semi-finals taking place all weekend here in Cork between here and the Parochial Hall. So if you're around, please do come on down. I'm sure plenty will be tuning in today that are playing over the weekend. So we're underway here with Amy Waters in the post for Brunell. Casey Grace gets the first rebound of the game. And Niamh, just give us a little bit of background here. Obviously a local derby with teams currently at two different ends of the table. How do you see this one going?
Well, Glanmire will come in as favourites, as you said, going for their fourth cup in a row and a lot of experience at this level. Brunell, first time in 25 years at this level semi-final, so it just adds a little bit of spice to the tournament as well. And of course the local derby, always very tight games for long periods of time.
So it's UCC Glanmire that get off to the fast start, but they're answered quickly by Kaylee Kilpatrick, who after a slow start to the season with injury has picked up the fortunes of Brunell of late, as they've had 2 wins their last 2 games before Christmas. And a steal there from Waters. Long range 3 is no good from Murphy, but Brunell will have another chance here if they move it round, and it's Kilpatrick again looking to find O'Leary outside. O'Leary takes a 3 and a great shot early from Danielle O'Leary, and that will give her a bit of confidence need to start the game.
Very important for Brunell to get off to a good start, and they have 2 good shots there, inside and outside, so looking to mix up the game, keep Glanmire on their toes and stay with them as long as possible.
Going to Dwyer inside, but good defence with a mixture of Waters and Kilpatrick. Wins the ball back for Glanmire, and it's O'Leary looking to set things up as Brunell look to capitalise on their fast start, but Ward again defended extremely well inside from Casey Grace, who's seen a lot of playing time this year, Niamh.
Yeah, Casey's one of her best attributes as a basketball player is her ability to block shots, and as you can see, losing a little height there but didn't affect her, and still was able to get a touch on that shot, and no clean shot off for Brunell that time.
Missed shot inside from Waters, but good rebound from Kilpatrick, but can't finish, and Chantal Orford looks to push the ball up for Glanmire. Dwyer makes a nice pass outside to Grace, who can't make that one, and Waters can't keep hold of the ball. Good steal by Dwyer, and it's Anya McKenna finds the open Rockall from the corner, and she makes no mistake with an open 2-pointer.
Brunell need to get out in those shots. I know Glanmire, Casey missed the first one, but then Clare gets an open look, so you have to get out in those shots. They will knock them down if they keep letting them be open.
Steal by Dwyer. Rockall in front of her, but chooses a nice move inside, and eventually finds Rockall. She can't finish, and rebounded by Murphy. But there we saw the pace of Glanmire getting up and down the court, something they've been well known for the last couple of years. And Murphy takes a tough shot. Alford gets the rebound, it's cleaned up by Claire Rockall. Alford well defended by Waters, can't make the shot, and rebounded by O'Leary. Coach Francis O'Sullivan pushing his team forward, asking them to get on the break. Inside Kilpatrick, and Kilpatrick makes a lovely short corner shot and extends the lead for SuperValu Brunell.
Very controlled offense at the moment by Brunell, looking for the mismatches inside, spacing it well and looking for the open passes.
Orford finds Grace. Open wing 2, doesn't get it. Good rebound by Murphy, so a good start to the game. Back to O'Leary. O'Leary fakes the shot, takes on McKenna. Nice floater inside, but doesn't quite go. Almost rebounded by Ward, but it will be Glanmire ball. And you haven't seen a little bit of these two teams. Brunel obviously have had the worst of the league form so far, but suffered injuries early. How much, as Dwyer takes a long two there and gets her first points of the game, how much will having a full team for Brunel make it a closer game than it was early on in the season?
It was very important that in the first game of the season, I think Brunel were up 5 points at half time, so they have the capability to stay with Glanmire. As you said, they've suffered from injuries, but the last 2 wins before Christmas will give them a lot of confidence going into this game.
O'Leary with a nice floater there, and as Niamh mentioned, Brunel with back-to-back victories, having not recorded one in the league. They beat NUIG in the cup and followed that up with a close-fought win over Meteors just before Christmas, so they're full of confidence. But Glanmire undefeated in the league this season, and with 3 cup wins in a row, they'll be looking for a 4th under coach Mark Scannell this year. O'Leary, it's a good start of the game with 5 points. And foul inside, called on Casey Grace, so it'll be Madison Ward going to the line for 2 shots. Kylie Kilpatrick makes no mistake from the line. She hits 2 and we're at 11-6. Alford takes a long 3. Rebounded by Ward. Murphy looks to find a gap. Tries to make a pass, but there's no pass there, and Alford starts the fast break, and again it's Dwyer and Rockall, but Rockall can't finish that time, and Kilpatrick gets the outlet, and somehow or other Brunel get hold of the ball, and Murphy decides to slow it down. And back in the hands of point guard Danielle O'Leary. And a good block from a mixture of Rockall and Grace. But again, good start from O'Leary at the point guard for Brunel.
Yeah, definitely looking to penetrate that time, and she did draw the help side, but it keeps Glanmire honest on the defence, and it will create opportunities later in the game for her teammates.
Shot clock's going to 3. O'Leary being guarded by McKenna, has to throw it up, and somehow or other she banks it in off the backboard, and that could be a good sign for Brunel as they've created an 8-point lead early in this game. Alford looks to respond with a 3. And she makes no mistake from the 3-point line, getting a sighter last time down, and that's her first score of the game.
Yes, Alford is a great shooter, as you know, her 2nd year now here in Ireland, so she's well used to the Irish game now, and she'll be key tonight for Glanmire.
Kilpatrick with a long 2. Rebounded by McKenna. McKenna gets over to the basket, but Waters just does enough to put her off. As Rockall drives down the middle lane, again good hands from Murphy this time as Dwyer takes a long 2. And well rebounded in the end by Kilpatrick, and it's O'Leary. Looks to start the break and finds Waters inside. But a good block from Alford as Brunel looking for something inside, and I think maybe they were just asking for something to happen a little bit quicker than it did in the end.
Yeah, they're not really getting their transition game started now, Brunel. So you had a 4-on-3 opportunity there, and they made nothing of it. So if they can look to exploit that part of the game and even extend their lead a little bit further against Glanmire.
Again, great block inside from Kaylee Kilpatrick, and she's really showing her worth early in the game as she finds Ward inside, and a foul called on Alford. And a great start so far from Kaylee Kilpatrick. She's been very influential on both ends of the floor.
Her rebounding ability is key at the moment for Brunel. She's clearing up the defensive boards and getting in on the offensive board, and you've seen her passing ability there for a big girl. It was an excellent pass looking for the mismatch inside.
And checking into the game for the first time is Orla Connolly for Singleton SuperValu Brunell. She checks in for O'Leary, and Alford takes a break for Glanmire, and in comes Leslie Ann Wilkinson for the first time. And we talked a little bit about injuries, and Chantal Orford got an injury on her knee just before Christmas. Have you seen anything different from her at the early part of the game, or is she looking like she's fit enough?
Well, if you see there, the last shot she took from the corner was nothing but net. Like, she did miss the first shot, but like, because she's such a good shooter and she knows the game so well, that's not going to deter her at all. I think, you know, Mark is just giving her a bit of a break. Like you said, she missed a couple of weeks training, just letting her get it back into the game, get her head together, and I'd say she will influence the game as it goes on.
So McKenna looks to set things up, finds Wilkinson on the wing. Dwyer being shown close attention by Connolly. And good defence from Brunell. They end up with the ball in the hands of Kilpatrick, and Steve starts the break to Waters, and Waters makes no mistake, and it's 17-9 to Brunell in the early going.
You can see Brunell went into his zone, the last defensive play, and it threw Glanmire a little bit there and got the turnover and the quick score on the other end.
Deep three. Rebounded by Casey Grace, but a foul has been called. I think that's gone against Amy Waters. Just getting a hand on the arm. That'll be her first. So O'Leary just gets a quick breather, and she's back into the game for Murphy. McKenna to Rockall. Again, sit back in the zone. Wilkinson, fresh off the bench, takes a three, doesn't get there. And Connolly, just off the bench, gets a good rebound for Brunell. He starts the break. Waters finds Kilpatrick inside. Great move from Kilpatrick, but blows the layup and rebounded by Grace. And will give Glanmire a chance to break. So the pass goes astray. Dwyer saves it, but it's straight into the hands of Kilpatrick. And again, it's back in the hands of Waters. This time, see if Brunell can do better. Connolly for three, and she makes it. It's 20-9. As Ambassador UCC Glanmire eventually call a timeout with Singleton SuperValu Brunell leading 17-9. So welcome back, it's 20-9. Singleton SuperValu Brunell leading Ambassador UCC Glanmire in the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-final. Great start to the game from Brunell as they sit in this zone and making it tough to get the ball inside. As good hands from Waters, and Waters eventually gets a steal from Grace. And it's Waters leading the break again for Brunell. Finds Ward inside, driving to the basket, and right on cue, Madison Ward gets her first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, Glanmire are really struggling against this zone at the moment, and they're struggling on the offensive boards. You know, they're missing some shots at the moment, and there's nobody crashing the boards. It's giving Brunell the opportunity to get out and run the ball, and they're doing a good job of running the ball at the moment. So, great start from Brunell. They continue in this zone, and why wouldn't you? It's working very well at the moment as Dwyer calls for travel there. She just picks up a pivot foot before putting the ball on the floor. And they've, obviously, Glanmire, a very experienced team, a very experienced coaching staff. But at what point in a game like this do you start to worry a little bit as a player? I don't think you start to worry until maybe 2 minutes to go or in the last quarter. I think Glanmire, as you said, have a lot of experience. They've been down bigger leads than this and come back, and they've been up bigger leads and lost it. It's just basketball, it can change so quickly. I think the important thing is that Glanmire get to grips with this zone, because it really is hurting them at the moment, and once they start that, it'll force Brunel to do something else and maybe change up the game a little bit for them.
Kilpatrick, long two, doesn't go. Rebound Grace into the hands of Wilkinson. He finds Rockall open on the wing. Dwyer doesn't make that. Good rebound by Rockall, and eventually falls into the hands of Hayley Lenihan, who's checked into the game. Dwyer turns around and makes another two, and someone you obviously know very well, Niamh, but one thing we know of Gordon is she won't stop shooting the ball.
No, and she can hit those long range shots all the way out to the 3-point out. We've seen that at the 3v3 competitions as well. So Gurney has a lot of variety to her game, so it's important that Brunel don't switch off her, because she can go inside and out, so they have to stay attuned to that, because if she gets going, trust me, I know she's hard to stop.
Yeah, a multiple cup final MVP and league MVP, so I'm sure Coach Frances O'Sullivan has paid particular attention on stopping her early, which has done a very good job of so far. As Aoife Deneen has just checked in for Brunel. Connolly with a drive to Waters, finds Deneen, wide open on the baseline, but just fresh into the game, can't quite make the layup, but good defense from O'Leary, slows Rockall down. As Lenihan fakes the shot, doesn't take it, gets it to Grace, but again, the zone causing a little bit of issues, and great hands from Aoife Deneen to get a jump ball. A very quick call from the referee there, but
that's great character by Aoife there. After missing the layup, coming back down the court, slowing down the fast break, and then creating a jump ball. That's going to be important in obviously a cup final to show that sort of character throughout the game.
Dwyer, long range two, doesn't go. Good rebound from Waters. And that's the end of the quarter. So the end of the first quarter of the Hula Hoops National Cup semi-final. It's Brunel 22, Glanmire 9. Welcome back to Neptune Stadium. We just start the second quarter of the Hula Hoop Women's National Cup semi-final. It's Singleton SuperValu Brunell leading ambassador UCC Glanmire on a 22-11 scoreline after a great start from Brunel and great start from O'Leary, who on cue takes a three, doesn't make it, but rebounded by Waters, and Glanmire continued the slow start as Connolly from the corner for three, and she makes that and extends the lead for Brunel.
Glanmire have to do a better job defensively. Giving up 22 points in the first quarter of a cup is going to hurt this team that prides themselves so much on their ability to shut down other teams. So it's important they get out to those shots. Nice basket inside there from Dwyer. And we see a little bit of full court pressure this time from Glanmire. Is that something that they would have talked about during the timeout? Is it something that Coach Scanlon likes to do? Absolutely. I think he would try to take Brunel out of the rhythm right now and try to create something defensively to get the offense going. So that's what he would be trying to do there. O'Leary for three. Doesn't go. Rebound Dwyer. Rockall's off the races. Great pass from Dwyer, but
Good hands from O'Leary, creates the turnover. And Waters has so often been the case, is leading the break, and a foul called. I think it's gone against Lenihan below. It has.
But again, you see Glanmire trying to extend that pressure now, trying to make Brunel rush their offence and take bad shots.
So Alford is back in the game, and Casey Grace gets a rest as Anya McKenna checks back into the game. Fitzpatrick guarded by Dwyer inside. Ward goes against Alford. Tough shot from Kilpatrick. Rebounded by Lenihan, and she's fouled by Connolly.
You can see Glanmire picking up the pressure on the shots now, not letting a clean look for Brunel when they're shooting there. That's going to be important that they clear up the boards afterwards as well.
So McKenna starts the offense against the zone, and Lenihan finds McKenna, takes a three. Doesn't go. Good effort from Lenihan. Means that Connolly tips it out of bounds, and it will be Ambassador UCC Glanmire ball. As Amy Murphy checks back in for Orla Connolly. And Brunel back to their starting five. Alford finds an open Rockall on the high post. Alford wide open three from the corner. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Waters. Gets in the hand of O'Leary. But great defence from Rockall. As you mentioned, Niamh, the full court pressure a little bit from Glanmire, and here we see them pushing up the court again.
Yeah, that's going to be very important for Glanmire, as I said already this quarter, that they don't give up to another 22 points and make it very difficult the second half for themselves. Again, they have open looks. They just need to start knocking them down, get Brunel out of that zone, start finding the inside players as well. A few shots going up, they're not falling. They need to change up the game a little bit.
Foul called, I think, on Rockall. It is on Amy Waters, so it'll be end-line ball to Brunel. And Niamh, as an adopted Cork native, it's been 25 years since Brunel have been in a cup semi-final. Is it a big thing for the club to be in this kind of situation?
Definitely. Look, a cup semi-final, whether it's 2 years, 1 year or 25 years since you're in the last one, is always a big occasion for any club. You can see the crowd here tonight. It's packed to the rafters here, and everyone here supporting their team. So it's going to be a huge boost for the team, as you said, who struggled at the start of the season and now are starting to find a bit of rhythm. So and they started this game well, so it's going to be big for the younger players seeing this coming through, and then to play their rivals, their local rivals, it's a big occasion for any club.
Ward and Dwyer wrestle for the ball. Lenihan ends up with it, and Rockall, he's had a slow start to this game, gets to McKenna. Dwyer makes a nice two just off the elbow, and she's continued to keep her score, and now we're back to a 9-point game, so they've chipped away a little bit in this second quarter.
As you said, they're going to keep shooting, they're going to keep looking for the open looks, and eventually they will knock down those shots. They're too experienced not to make those shots eventually.
Nice fast break. Alford gets the rebound, outlets it to McKenna, and she makes the long twos. We take a timeout here, and the lead is down to 7. So welcome back. We're midway through the second quarter with Singleton SuperValu Brunell still leading, but the lead has been cut to 24 to 17. And again, we see the pressure from Glanmire coming out of the break.
Yeah, Glanmire went into the 1-2-1-1 press there just to try and force Brunell out of their rhythm still and keep this pressure on and keep chipping away at this lead, forcing turnovers and shots.
Dwyer pulls it back out. McKenna, nice fake. Tries to get all the way to the basket. A great move inside. Anya McKenna finished off the glass, and Coach Scannell again calling his team to push up full court and creates a turnover. And that's back-to-back missed shots, and all of a sudden Glanmire seem to have found their rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, that's why they're creating their offense from their defense now. They've unsettled Brunell on the offensive floor, so that's creating opportunities for them, getting layups there in the other end of the court and just cutting away at that lead.
Alford for three from the corner, in and out. Rebounded by Lauren Valby. She's checked into the game there. O'Leary had a great first start, but good defense from Alford, gets a good stand, and it'll be Brunell's ball out of bounds. Murphy from the wing, pressured by Rockall. Again, good defense inside to Kilpatrick. But just of late, the shot's not quite dropping for Brunell, but good defense there from O'Leary, creates a turnover as Lenihan just picks the ball up and travels.
Yeah, the shots are not dropping for Brunell now, but what they did in the first quarter is they had offensive boards and they attacked well off them. Now they've stopped rebounding and they're allowing Glanmire to get out the court and then chip away at the lead.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Scan will be delighted at the moment. He's Casey Grace resting on the bench and is still holding his own on the rebounds as Valby takes a three. Doesn't go. This time they do get the rebound, and it is Kilpatrick who goes straight over the top of Grania Dwyer, who's slow to get up, but good rebound by Alford. But eventually gets it up, but there's good defense as the 8-second shot clock was running down, the 8-second half-court clock was running down, but Dwyer is going to the bench. Looks like she's
bleeding, that's it.
Bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah, so it has to come off as a sub. As you said, Grania trying to get position. Unfortunately, you can't take a charge inside the circle. So Kaylee was able to go through her, but then Brunell had a 2-on-1 situation and turned over the ball. So that was a missed opportunity from there.
Louise Scannell checks in for Grania Dwyer, and so does Casey Grace. So it just seems of late the last few times the turnovers that they have got where they were scoring earlier, now they're turning it back over Brunell and just allowing Glanmire without doing anything too special to get back into the game a little bit. That's
unfortunately that's going to hurt them in the fourth quarter. Glanmire don't have to expend that much energy to chip away and bring in that lead. As you say, 11 points at the start of the quarter, and we're not even halfway through and they've cut the lead in half already without exerting themselves too much.
And Alexander Machetta checks in for the first time for Singleton SuperValu Brunell, as again we see full court pressure. They get it over to Kilpatrick, to Waters. Good swarming defense, and McKenna picks that off, and she's a free lane to the basket and makes no mistake on the layup, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game.
I think that's Anya's third layup now off the break and off that pressure on defense, and this is what Glanmire is so good at. Because they're in the press, Brunell are struggling to get into their offense now, and they're not finding the open looks they did in the first quarter.
Kilpatrick drives down the middle lane, had a great start to the game, but just found it tougher to score in the last few minutes as Glanmire have upped their defense a little bit. But there you go, Kilpatrick, we're pleased to get that one to go, and I'm sure the whole of Brunel supporters club will breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, it's an important basket to get Brunel settled now into this quarter. Like I said, they've struggled now. It's only their second basket of the quarter.
Scannell, long two from the corner, doesn't get it. Kilpatrick grabs another rebound.
Yeah, she's having a great job on the boards on both ends. Like, she's really attacking them. She understands that she's a height advantage, and she's really looking to exploit that.
Shot clock clicks below 10. Valby for three. Doesn't go, and good rebound from Alford, just nicks it off the hand of Waters. And here come Glanmire again, who are looking a bit better on the break, and McKenna gets all the way to the basket again, and the lead is back to three.
Yeah, Anya's having a great few minutes now. Like I said, that's her fourth layup of the quarter. She's up to 8 points now, and it's really important. She's leading by example.
Nice move, but can't be finished, and Scannell is free on the break, and she scores. And now we're down to a 1 point game with 3:47 to go in this second quarter, and the fast break for Glanmire off the back of their defence is really taking its toll a little bit on Brunell at the moment. Doesn't go, and again Rockall looking to attack, finds Grace gets hold of it, McKenna for 2, doesn't go, and rebound Kilpatrick. And just below us, looking Francis O'Sullivan looking as cool as ever. You won't see him getting overly flustered. In this situation now, 1 point game, 3 minutes to go to half time. At the start of the game, I presume we'll have a timeout here, so we'll be back to you in a couple of seconds. And welcome back. It'll be Ambassador UCC Glanmire ball as they trail this game by 1 point. And Eva, I was just about to ask you before the break there how Francis O'Sullivan will be feeling as coach of Brunell. 1 point up with 3 minutes to go, as they go 1 point down now with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Well, Francis is a very experienced coach. He's coached at all levels here in Ireland, so I don't think Francis will panic at all. He knows Glanmire are a good side, and he would be expecting them to come back at some stage. What's important now is that they gain a bit of composure on the offensive end and look for the mismatches that they were finding in the first quarter and get a few baskets before the end of this quarter.
Rockall makes a 2 in the lane, and all of a sudden, from down by as many as 12 points, they're now up 3 points. And the cup champions are showing why they're exactly that.
You see Glanmire's defence now extended all the way out past the 3 point line. Brunell are struggling to find their passes. They're not getting into their offense now, and they're not finding the shots they were finding earlier on.
Long three from Machette, it doesn't go. So 2:24 to go in the first of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup Finals. Don't forget, there's basketball in all venues across Cork, in Procul Hall and Neptune Stadium across the weekend, so please check the Basketball Ireland website for fixtures. We'll be live on the stream for the Super League games tomorrow, so that's the men's Super League semi-final at 4 p.m. It's SSE Airtricity Moycullen versus Griffith Swords Thunder. That'll be followed at 6 o'clock by the second of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-final as Dwyer takes a long 2, doesn't go, and that game between Courtyard, Liffey Celtics and DCU Mercy. Dwyer finds Rockall under the basket, back to Dwyer. Dwyer takes a long 2, but a hand on it from Kilpatrick, and it's Waters the rebound. And the final men's Super League semi-final will take place at 8 p.m. It's Pyrobel Colester versus UCD Marion. So we'll be live on the stream for all 3 of those games tomorrow, so please do join us. And if you're in the Cork area, please do pop down and watch some of the games. The under 18, under 20 National Cup semi-final will also be taking place, as well as the Division 1 President's Cup and the Women's Senior Cup, as Rockall on the break is fouled. And finally on Sunday, And it'll be 2 shots. And on Sunday, as I mentioned, that the National Intermediate Cup semi-finals will take place in Neptune Stadium and in Parochial Hall. What would an acceptable score for Brunel be at half-time? Forgetting the fact that they were up as many, what would they have been happy with going in at half-time against a team with Glanmire's record this season and in previous seasons?
I think they'll be happy with being in contention. But they're still in minute 40, and the way Glanmire fast breaking at the moment, it is in danger of going into double figures. So I think as long as they can keep it 5, 6, 7 points, I think they'll be happy. But like, they're not getting back on defence, and they're not taking good options in the open court, and Glanmire are picking up the loose balls, and they're attacking them every time and every opportunity they can get.
Let off the hook there as Rockall misses both free throws. So a chance to get within 1 or tie for Brunel. This is O'Leary guarded by McKenna. Into the corner, Machetta looks for Waters inside. Waters, but she's double teamed. Finds outside, the shot clock ticks to 6. Waters, corner jump shot. That doesn't go. Rebounded by Ward. And she gets it. Good defense. Good defense from Dwyer. A slow call, but eventually the correct call, I think, as she was given the charge that she well deserved.
Yeah, it was a slow call, but I think it wasn't the right one in the end. I think she actually got a hand on the ball as well, so even if the charge wasn't called, I think she forced a turnover as well.
So 1:09 to go in the first of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-finals. It's Ambassador UCC Glanmire leading Singleton SuperValu Brunell by 3. As Rockall comes off the screen by Grace, finds a bit of space. McKenna, corner 3. She makes no mistake. And all of a sudden, as you say, with 50 seconds to go, we're at 6-point lead.
Yeah, 6-point lead after being 11 down. I think Glanmire will definitely be the happier. It's important now that Brunel stay in it the last few seconds of the game and recover at half-time.
Orford gets her hands on the ball and fouled by O'Leary. 38 seconds to go. It'll be Glanmire's ball with a chance to extend their lead. They found their shooting touch a little bit in the second quarter. As we said, come from a long way down to lead by 6. Rockall again uses a screen from Grace. Dwyer fouled. This time I think by Kilpatrick. Yeah, it will go against Kilpatrick.
Because they're in team fouls now, so it's 2 free throws for every foul with 21 seconds to go.
And we mentioned a few times in the first quarter and early in the second quarter that Brunel missed a few opportunities after getting steals, turned it over themselves. Is that really coming back to haunt them a little bit now as Glanmire have eventually found their scoring touch a little bit?
Definitely, because at the moment they're lucky they're not double figures down. Glanmire have missed a couple of layups themselves and a couple of free throws, so it could be double figures. Whereas if they had those few the free throws they missed themselves and the layups, as you said, it would be a closer game. So it's important to get a good look here. Hopefully a score for them just to keep it tight going into the second half of this game.
So it's a 10-point lead for Glanmire. Clock clicks to 5, 4, 3. Brunel need to get a shot off. Waters in the corner, just over Orford, but great defence. So there we have it, the end of the first half of the first Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-final. It's Glanmire lead Brunel by 34 points to 26. Welcome back to Neptune Stadium in Cork for the second half of the first of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-finals between Ambassador UCC Glanmire and Singleton SuperValu Brunell. It's Glanmire that have come from 12 back as Alford takes the three and continue where they left off at the end of the second quarter. Glanmire now leads 37 points to 26, and Neve, more of the same in terms of Glanmire's start.
Yeah, Brunel, these next 5 minutes are crucial for Brunel, that they get to grips with Glanmire's offence and they start their own offence as well, and you can see the missed shot there won't help their confidence. They need to find a way of stopping Glanmire moving the ball so quickly, and they need to find a way of getting it back inside where they were hurting Glanmire in the first quarter.
Inside, Grace, blocked by Kilpatrick, but it'll be Glanmire ball from the end line. So we've an 11-point lead for 3 in a row Cup champions Ambassador UCC Glanmire, and Alford swings the ball round to McKenna, looks to drive against Ward. She gets past Ward, goes to the basket but misses the shot, but rebounded eventually by Rockhall, who can't get it, and O'Leary will start the break to Kilpatrick and Waters. But you see a little bit of that confidence seems to have left Brunel at the moment, as good hands from Alford, who nicks the ball from the hands of Kilpatrick as he looks to post up, and Alford leads the break. Great pass to Rockhall, who finishes with the left hand and is fouled and will go to the line for the bonus free throw.
And just Glanmire at the moment showing the variety of people that can score on this team, and that's what Brunel are struggling at the moment. You know, we saw the second quarter, Anya McKenna step up, scoring 11 points, and now you see Claire hitting a shot and Chantel as well hitting it, so it's coming from all areas at the moment.
The referees just conferring. I think they gave the wrong number. I think they gave Daniel O'Leary's number. It wasn't her that fouled. And Coach O'Sullivan below us there just trying to G up his troops, and is that the kind of belief that seems to have left Brunel at the moment after a great start?
I think so. Like what's important for them now is how they cope with this and how they conduct themselves, like, and show a bit of character, like just like Amy's doing there, like taking it hard there, like and drawing the foul. So it's important that they keep plugging away and believe. Like you saw Glanmire turned it around in one quarter. Can they do the same? And they have to believe it before it can happen.
And we saw that kind of basketball from them in the first quarter. That was led by O'Leary, and again doesn't get the luck there as it bobbles in and out, but a good steal from Murphy from the outlet from Dwyer, and Brunel will get another chance to cut into this lead. Inside to Kilpatrick, finds an open Waters, looks to drive. Nice move from Waters, but things aren't dropping for Brunel at the moment, and a foul's called on Waters. Chantal Orford, who's after a slow start, probably nursing a knee a little bit, has come into the game more and more in the last 2 quarters.
We saw that in the first quarter that she missed the first few shots, but like I said, missed a couple of weeks of training, probably a bit rusty, but you can't keep giving her the open looks, and you saw the very first shot of the quarter, nothing but net from Chantal Alford.
Inside to Dwyer. Dwyer finds open McKenna on the 3-point line, and good fake, and it's another foul for Murphy. And
team fouls, I'd say, soon enough. And that, of course, that means then there'll be 2 shots every time every foul. Glanmire will go to the line, and that's just an opportunity for them to extend their lead every time.
For those of you following on our live stats, apologies for the time being wrong, just having a few technical issues with the system at the moment, but the scores and the scorers should be spot on. Don't forget all information on basketballisland.ie. You can see all the fixtures, there's live stats for all the Super League games, and you can see reports on all games across the weekend. And another missed 3 from Murphy. Dwyer finds Casey Grace. Rockhall back to Grace, and Grace just can't get it over the outstretched fingertips of Kilpatrick, and Murphy looks to try and get something going for Brunel, yet to score in the second half. Corner jumper doesn't go. Rebound, Rockhall. And at the moment, you just get the feeling that Brunel really need any kind of basket, as Alford takes a 3 but doesn't go, and good rebound from Ward.
Now Glanmire are starting to miss a few shots here as well, so this is Brunel's opportunity now to kind of dig in and try and find a few baskets, but unfortunately then Gorney with the steal kind of puts an end to that plan.
And O'Leary didn't get the shot from her teammates and didn't see it coming, stripped the ball and made the layup, and It's now a 16-point lead, and things are not looking good for Brunel, but we did see a great run for them in the first quarter, but it's been a different game since that point, and again, good defense from Dwyer leads to the turnover, and into the game for the first time comes Hannah McCarthy, as Casey Grace will get a rest.
I think it's important for Brunel now to realise, yes, it is a 16-point game, but if they can get it under 10 points going into the fourth quarter, this game is by no means over, but they need to start finding their offensive rhythm and actually getting a few more stops on the defensive end as well.
Dwyer, corner jump shots, and one person who's certainly found her range as she goes to 16 points in the game. Inside to Ward. Brunel certainly needs some baskets from her. 3 doesn't go. Ward misses that rebound. Dwyer, and Glanmire off to the races again. Dwyer finds McKenna on the 3-point line, steps the line for 2. Rebound Ward, and this time it's Murphy with one-on-one against Alford. But good defense from Alford, just laid off a little bit, but Ward has got the rebound, and O'Leary will have another chance for a 3. They need one to go, and again it doesn't go, but good rebound from Waters, but at the moment nothing seems like it's going to drop for them.
I know, yeah, it's just a pity there because they are getting good looks now at the basket, like where they struggled in the second quarter to even get good shots. They've had open looks, they're just not putting them in, and it will hurt if they can't close this gap before the fourth quarter.
So it's 44-26 as Dwyer drains another jump shot, and a timeout from Brunel as they trail 26 points to 44. So welcome back to Neptune Stadium in Cork. It's Ambassador UCC Glanmire leading Singleton SuperValu Brunell on a scoreline of 46 points to 26. Forget Brunel had a fast start, going up 12 points, but since then it's been all Glanmire. Now we see a little bit more ball movement out of that timeout, and Waters with a long 2 and makes it.
Yeah, excellent ball movement there, like not letting Glanmire get set in their defence, not letting them get into lanes, and then got an open shot and at last hit one. So that's what they got to keep doing now. They have 5 minutes before the end of this quarter to keep plugging away, keep pushing and keep finding open shots.
And Brunel will have another chance here to cut this lead as Kilpatrick. Good defence from McCarthy, but back into the hands of Kilpatrick. Somehow there was a foul called eventually, and it'll be 2 shots, so a chance to dig in this lead a bit. And Neve, there we see the benefit as Coach O'Sullivan not happy with a no foul call there. There did seem to be a lot of contact, but we see the benefit of timeout there. They look like a completely different team when they come out of that timeout.
Yeah, they were definitely a lot more focused when they came out, and they knew what they had to do. So sometimes, on the court, like we've all been in situations as players where you can't seem to put the ball in the basket, and that's when you need your coach to kind of give you that little bit of direction, and they definitely got that because they moved the ball extremely well, found the gaps and got an open look in the end.
So could we see the start of a mini revival here from Brunel? There's still 5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
For all the neutrals, I'm sure they're hoping, I'm sure all the Glanmire crowd hope it's business as usual for them, and obviously the Brunel fans will be wanting the revival, and definitely the neutrals then to make it a game. So like you said, we just saw in the first half, anything can happen in basketball. It's not over yet.
And Kaylee Kilpatrick does her part from the foul line, and all of a sudden we're back down to 16 points, and as you said, if they can get it to 10 at the start of the fourth quarter, who knows what can happen. McCarthy inside, Rockall for 3 from the corner, doesn't go. Good rebound from Waters, great box out, and O'Leary finds Machetta wide open in the corner. Feet on the line, it'll be 2, doesn't go, but she's going to get her own rebound. And now we see a little bit more energy from the Glanmire squad as O'Leary is open from the 3-point line, but great recovery from Lenihan, and it stays in bounds. Good skills from Dwyer as she keeps out of the way of a couple of defenders. Doesn't make the 2, and scramble on the floor for the ball. Who's going to come up with it? It's Glanmire that come up with the ball in the end, and McKenna. The travel was called there. So she definitely shuffled her feet. And again, we've seen the last couple of times, I think that's 3 or 4 misses in a row from Glanmire. Brunel have scored 4 points, but they really can't afford to be letting too many opportunities slip by at this point.
No, and they have to keep fighting like they did there. Like they came out at 50-50 ball there, Glanmire came out, but yet they closed out in the shots, they forced the turnover to the travel, and they need to keep fighting like that and making things happen and finding a way if they want to stay in this game.
So it's Alex Machetta. We're bringing the ball up for Singleton SuperValu Brunell, closely guarded by Anya McKenna. Connolly finds Ward, but great steal from McKenna on the bad pass from Ward there. And McKenna weaves her way through the close attention of the Glanmire defence, and Alford, who's checked back in for Rockall. McKenna, corner 3. Never quite got her feet set on that one, and Connolly will have a chance of cutting this lead. Waters inside to Ward. Doesn't go, but Machette does a fantastic job of rebounding the ball there. One of the smallest players on the floor, but out-hustled everyone. And Kilpatrick, nice fake. Can she get to 2? So that's 3 baskets in a row for Brunel. And all of a sudden they're starting to get a bit more confidence back into their game.
Yeah, and the important thing is that they kept in that offense. They didn't give up on the play. Like you said, Glanmire did a good job of closing out. They kept moving the ball, as you said, running down the rebounds, giving themselves another opportunity. They need to keep that up.
Just what they didn't need. A missed shot from Alford, but weak side rebound from McKenna, and she puts it back in, and she's fouled. So that will stop the mini revival.
And just killing any momentum they had built up there.
So Lauren Falvey checks in for Madison Ward, and we saw, or heard rather, the Brunel crowd for the first time since early in the first quarter. Waters leads the break. Machetta back to Waters. Waters inside to Kilpatrick. She's closely guarded there and ends up in the hands of Falvey. Connolly. Brunel just can't seem to get hold of the ball at the moment, and eventually a foul is called on the baseline.
You just see the crisp passing that they had when they came out of the timeout wasn't there. The passes were sloppy. You saw that they were ready to shoot the ball, but then the pass was at their knees, so they can't get themselves set on the shots. They need to do a better job of moving that ball and finding their shooters ready to shoot.
It's a bit like a hot potato there, but here comes Falvey out to Connolly. Slightly better passing here, as you talked about. Good drive from Waters, but good defense inside from McCarthy. And it will be Glanmire ball as it's out of Kilpatrick. So with 2:23 to go in the first of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-finals. It's Ambassador UCC Glanmire leading Singleton SuperValu Brunell by 48 points to 32.
You can hear the Brunel crowd now really trying to get behind their team. They understand how important these next 2 minutes are. And Glanmire just keep showing their experience and composure at this level, and just keep putting the pressure back on Brunel, trying to get back into the game.
So after a great stint from Brunel when they got back in the game a little bit, it's just gone back out to 8 points, but a good pass from Waters and inside to Kilpatrick.
You can see now Brunel putting on a little bit of pressure on the full court, but didn't last too long. So now they have to get back into the defence and force Glanmire into a bad shot.
Lenihan gets it in hands of Alford. She's an open 3 from the top. She's just gone a little bit cold at the moment, which Brunel will be delighted about, as she was showing signs of taking over the game. But Waters finds an open Falvey. She'll take a 3. That doesn't go, and you just get the feeling if they can make a couple of those open 3s, it could be a big difference in the game.
Yeah, and what they have to realise, there you go, Tell there, showing her experience again, missed the 3 and getting the and one play. It's unfortunate right now because Brunel, like you said, they're still missing a couple of shots. So the offensive boards are there, but they have nobody crashing at the moment, and it's just putting them under pressure because when Glanmire get out in the fast break, they're very hard to stop.
Yeah, and right on cue, Chantal Alford looking to score 3 the old-fashioned way as Brunel just wing the changes a little bit. Aoife Deneen has checked in, and Casey Grace will come in for Grania Dwyer. Alford completes the 3-point play. The lead is back up to 19 points, and a steal from Lenihan. And Lenihan closely guarded, maybe a little bit more than closely guarded by O'Leary, but she got away with one there.
And this is where they have to make it count now. Like, you know, they've got to stop. They need to look for a good open shot, find the open player, and finish.
Kilpatrick can't finish over Grace, and it'll be Alford who leads the way for Glanmire. Finds Lenihan. Wilkinson penetrates down the middle of the zone. Wide open shot from Casey Grace. She makes the 2 to extend the lead to 55 points to 34. So 31 seconds to go in this third quarter as we have a timeout, and we'll rejoin you shortly after the timeout. So welcome back, 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. Foul is called on Claire Rocco. So 21-point lead for Glanmire, Niamh. Is there any chance for Brunel, or what can they do to give themselves a slight sniff or believe they have a chance in this final quarter?
Well, I think they need to go out to start the fourth and forget the scoreboard right now and go back to playing the basketball they started with, forget it, and just play and see what happens. Because right now, I think maybe there's a couple of too many eyes on the scoreboard and they're struggling a little bit trying to force things like we see there. So it's important that they kind of reset coming into the fourth quarter and give us all something to cheer about.
Lenihan, 3 seconds to go, makes the 3, so right on cue at the end of the third quarter. It's Glanmire 55, Brunel 58, Brunel 34. So here we go into the fourth quarter of the Hula Hoops Women's National Cup semi-final. It's Ambassador UCC Glanmire leading Singleton SuperValu Brunell on a scoreline of 58-34. And after a fast start, Niamh, to the game from Brunell, it really has been all Glanmire in the second and third quarter.
I think we've just seen the experience and composure of Glanmire at this level. This is, their 10th cup semi-final at this stage, so there's a lot of experience there, so they didn't panic. And then when the pressure did come on Brunel, there was a slight panic in there as well, and it just gave Glanmire that edge. And once you give Glanmire the edge, it's very hard to get it back. And I think it's just a learning experience for Brunel. It's another step on their development as a club. Like I said, it's a huge occasion for the club playing here in Neptune. And hopefully the important thing is they'll learn and bring it forward and keep moving forward.
And we've seen over the last 6-8 years that Brunel as a club have been one of the most dominant, along with Glanmire really, and DCU in the women's game of the underage. So is this really the first in their step to making a big dent in the senior ranks?
I think it has to be, and I think they have to keep looking forward. Like you said, they made the league final 2 years ago, which was a great achievement for a young club, and like you said, the young players at underage coming through to senior. But as the years move on now, they're coming into their mid-20s now, so it's important that they learn in these the more games they get at this level and the more games they get in these kind of situations, that they learn from it and that they hold their composure and that they can start challenging the top teams and start challenging for cups and leagues at this level.
Wilkinson looks to drive, finds McCarthy. Eventually finds its way out to Rockhall, who gets into the middle of the lane. A good defense from Waters, gets a block, and a good rebound eventually from Deneen. And ball is back in her hands as she's well guarded by Wilkinson. But Machetta decides not to drive, put the ball on the floor. The shot clock clicks below 10. O'Leary has the ball in the hands. And Amy Waters, with 2 seconds on the shot clock, hits the mid-range jumper. Cuts the lead slightly. It's now 60-36. Wilkinson. Fouled. In the end by Aoife Deneen. And Brunel will not be happy to see the reappearance of Anya McKenna and Grania Dwyer.
Yeah, as you can see, like Anya and Grania's experience in the second quarter, especially when Anya had 11 points and I think Grania had 6 or 8 points that second quarter, really helping Glanmire to get back in the game. And I think that's the experience. Like, it's never just one player for Glanmire. You can come from all areas, and we saw Chantel now getting a rest there because of her injury and stuff, but like made big baskets as well. And there's Anya's first contribution then to the fourth quarter. There is a backdoor cut there on the score.
This time it's Lenihan with a steal, of which we've seen a couple. An intentional foul is called on O'Leary. She was our last player back, and Glanmire showed why they're top of the league. They haven't stopped playing this fourth quarter. They've picked the pace up again. And back-to-back baskets and a chance to extend the lead again. So looking ahead, Niamh, to tomorrow's women's games. So 6 o'clock, we've Courtyard Liffey Celtics versus DCU Mercy. How do you see that one going? Two Dublin teams looking to battle it out.
I think it's going to be a very good game. I've seen both teams play this year and I've been impressed with both teams. I think Liffey Celtics picking up Jasmine Boone from last year's Player of the Year is a huge lift for their club. They changed their style of play to a more 5-out offense, really trying to look at her in the guard spot, as well as we know that she can play the post as well. So, but like you said, very balanced attack there from DCU. They've picked up Aishan O'Sullivan from Clester in the point guard position, which they struggled in last year. So that's a really good pickup, and it'll be a really, really interesting game, and I think it'll be a very tight one. But I would say, if I was to bet, maybe DCU, they just had the experience at this level again. They played in a lot of cup semi-finals, a lot of cup finals, and I'd probably give the edge to DCU, but I think it's going to be a very, very close game.
So please do join us on the live stream, 6 o'clock start for Courtyard Liffey Celtics versus DCU Mercy, and that'll be preceded at 4 o'clock on the live stream by the men's first semi-final of SSE Airtricity Moycullen versus Griffith Swords Thunder, and at 8 o'clock it's Parabel Colesta versus UCD Marion. So we've 6:56 to go in this first semi-final. It's Glanmire leading 68-36. The ball goes in the hands of Scannell. Good pass from Dwyer into the hands of Rockhall, who can't finish, and Amy Waters starts the fast break, but pass slightly off, but a good save in the end from Aoife Deneen, but can't find one of her teammates, and McKenna will lead the break. Ten seconds on the shot clock, now 7. As Rockhall finds an open Dwyer, long 2. Doesn't make that one, but it will still be Glanmire ball with 2 seconds on the shot clock. As Connolly and Murphy come in for Deneen and O'Leary for Brunell, and a timeout will be called, and we'll be back with you shortly. So welcome back. Timeout call from Brunel as they trail 68-36. And from the way the two coaches were down below, as Louise Scannell with 1 second on the shot clock makes her first basket of the day. During the timeout, both coaches furiously still working at it, so they certainly not giving up on the game, and both will keep going to the end. As a travel is called on Kilpatrick, sorry.
I think credit has to be given to Casey Grayson growing the wire inside. You know, Kaylee really hurt them in the first quarter. Really, the inside-outside game was going. She cleared up the boards on both ends, but she just hasn't got a sniff this second half. And credit, like Casey and Groney keep getting their body in the way, making it difficult for her. And it's just basically worn her down over the course of the game.
Yeah, Kilpatrick leading the scores for Brunel with 14 points, but she had 8 of those early in the first quarter. And again, it will be Glanmire ball as Dwyer just fends off Kilpatrick. And Glanmire continue to ring the changes as Olivia Dupuy checks in for the first game for Claire Rockhall. I was just about to say not one of Claire's best games, but as I look at the stats, she's 11 points and 8 rebounds, which I think tells you everything about what she does for the Glanmire team.
Yeah, her athleticism on the boards is huge, especially, you know, at times when you be undersized inside in the post. You know, Claire is a big player for coming up with key rebounds and doing the dog work on the boards, which you need.
And as Casey Grace on the 24-second shot clock makes a Hail Mary 3. We'll say it was an intentional 3, but I think that shows that there's going to be no comeback today for Brunel as Kilpatrick finishes a nice basket inside.
Yeah, Casey, not known for her three-point shooting, but she is able and to get on the buzzer, you know, brought a smile to all the fans, Glanmire fans' faces anyway.
Dupuy under pressure from Murphy, inside to Dwyer, and she's fouled by Waters, and will go to the line for 2 shots. And Katie Keating steps into the game for the first time as well for Glanmire. Two from Dwyer. Takes her personal tally to 22. Inside Connolly. Connolly gets a roll.
It's a pity it's come now. Like the third quarter they were rolling out for Brunell. Like so, it's a credit that they keep going, they keep plugging, they keep looking for those shots, and they got to keep doing that. Like keep chipping away now for the next four minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a case of the league table doesn't lie. They're opposite ends of the table, probably for good reasons. Brunel certainly showed early in the game that they're well able to hang at this standard, but I think Glanmire's experience has come through towards the latter of the game.
Yeah, and like they just worn down Brunel now at the moment. Like as you can see, Mark is rotating all these players in. Everyone's getting experience, getting the minutes that they're going to need going forward in the league. And like you said, the important thing for Brunel is just to keep building on this. Like it was a big occasion for the club tonight. Keep building, keep going. Like they got 2 wins before the Christmas. There's no reason why they can't keep that going into the league and start challenging there and try to move up that table.
Yeah, exactly. With the young team, I'm sure it won't be another 25 years before we see Brunel in a cup semi-final again. There's foul called there on Samantha Kumi, who's just checked into the game, and she fouls Annalise Murphy. Sneeve, whilst to have you here, the international basketball. So first time in 8 years, I think last year, that the senior women's team has played under the Irish banner in the 5-on-5 format. How big a thing and how an important thing is for the women's game in Ireland, as Louise Scannell just makes her second basket.
It's just massive to have a national team up again. Like you said, Super League, when you think of the likes of Claire Rockall, Anya McKenna, they've been playing Super League nearly 10 years now, so they need another level to keep improving this skill level at women's basketball. And the only way to do that is keep playing tougher teams. And they got to the final of the small countries. It was a huge step again, but we need to go back there and we need to be looking to win that the next time. Like especially because you can take a lot of the same players back again. They have that experience now, and it keeps driving the standard up. And we can get there again. We just got to keep building. There's been a lot of work done at underage level as well, and it just all feeds back into the system, and that we keep moving forward as a country and with the sport that we all love.
So especially here we look at two very successful underage teams here, and at the moment on the floor, I mean, we have at least 8 players that I can see that have taken part in underage national cup semi-finals and finals in the last 2 years. And is it something that will keep them in the game, the fact that they now have senior international basketball to aim for?
Well, anyone who plays a sport competitively and loves it, well, that's what you want. You always want to find a way to improve and to get to the next level. And it's important for these young players that they can see that, if they want to play as good as Gráinne Dwyer or Claire Rockall, Anya McKenna and those kind of players. I just mentioned Glanmire because they're playing here tonight. Of course, there's other players around the league, and it's important that they have someone to aspire to and the opportunity to play with these players, not just against them night in and night out. And that's what it offers when you have a national team, is that all those competitors through the year become your teammates as well, and you improve together. And I remember, playing with the likes of Michelle Aspel, Lindsay Peat, we go hammer and tongs every night on the basketball court, and then to play together at the national level, international level, and bring that energy. It's the only way you can improve, and I definitely credit a lot of my basketball to playing with those players as well as against them, and that's what the national teams or the international teams do for the players.
Yeah, well said, and certainly with the under-18 European Championships being held in Dublin this coming summer, it will be a chance to see one of our most successful age groups, under-16 and under-18s, both done extremely well over the last 2 years in those tournaments. So we'll be hoping that the whole of Ireland will get behind them, and that will transpire into the senior teams doing extremely well over the next couple of years, and bringing women's basketball to where it should be, as we certainly have the players, we've had the players in the past, and they're certainly there again, given the opportunity to play at that standard.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see those games as well, and going to go throwback here to Neptune when we had the under-18 tournament here. I'm not going to say how many years ago now, but it was huge for at the time, and a lot of the players that played in that tournament still played, had long careers, and I think it comes from that passion. You get the chance to play in front of your family and friends at international level. It's only going to help improve the young players and hopefully keep that passion going for many years to come.
Nice three from Orla Connolly there. Yeah, it's not very often you get an opportunity to play in a competitive home international, so it'll be a great experience for the team, and hopefully Louise Scano with a great backdoor cut and a good pass from Keating, and Glanmire lead this one 80-45. So as we draw into the last 2 minutes of the game, Niamh, just give us a quick recap on how we ended up where we are.
I think, well, the first quarter, as you said, Brunel came out and looked really well prepared, really ready for it, and caught Glanmire off guard. Let's be honest, they weren't as ready for the game. 11 points going in at the quarter, but as the game went on, the key was Glanmire's pressure on defence. It just didn't let Brunel settle into the offence the way they did the first quarter. They put full court pressure on them, forced turnovers, and we saw them running layups. As you said, layups seem like easy baskets, but like they come from defence, they come from the energy, and it just helped Glanmire get a double-figure lead going into the second half. And I just think their experience, they just never looked like losing that lead at any stage. And even when Brunel came back in the third quarter, they just had enough in the tank to extend it out again and just finish the game like we have now.
And with the big game coming up tomorrow, Liffey Celtics, DCU, both experienced teams. Will Glanmire still be favourites for the cup final this year, or will it depend on the day?
I'm sure everyone will say I'm biased out there, but of course I'm going to put Glanmire as favourites again. I just think they are undefeated now going in for the first half of the season. They'll have 2 league games to improve on what went wrong the first quarter, and whether they face Liffey or DCU in the final, we'll see tomorrow. But I think, either way, I think teams DCU and Liffey will have to focus on each other tomorrow, but then regroup again and coming into the final. But I still put Glanmire as the favourites.
Okay, so don't forget, for the semi-finals, we'll start tomorrow morning in Neptune Stadium at 10 o'clock with the under-18 men's game, which is BFG Neptune versus No, I think it's Liffey Celtics. Sorry, I missed that. That semi-final result. I have 4 teams in front of me here. It's the second semi-final is definitely Templeogue versus Cubs, and in Parochial Hall the first game will be DCU Mercy versus Portlaoise Panthers. So try and get along. All games without me bluffing through them will be available on the Basketball Island website, and you'll be able to follow scores on Twitter at bballirl all day as well. Don't forget, the live stream will be up and running from 4 p.m. for SSC Tricity Moycullen versus Griffiths Sword Thunder. And at the end of that one, after a good start from Brunel, Glanmire's quality came through in the end, and they win this first semi-final on the scoreline of 84-47.